need to do is formalize the fact that we are sending JSON back to the user. If you remember from the last lecture, handlers must send us an object back. If they don't send us an object, we default to an empty object, and we always turn that object or empty object into a JSON string and then return it to the user here. But we don't actually tell the user that we are returning them JSON. And so we want to formalize that a bit more now. We're going to do that by sending the header content type with our response. So we're going to send a header that says content type is application/JSON. The way that we do that is, again, using a built-in function that comes on this response object. So we're going to do res.setHeader. And this can take in anything we want. It's key, value. It takes two parameters, a key and a value. So we are going to say that the key is content type, and the value, which is the next parameter, is application/JSON. Now it's telling any browser or anyone who understands content types that we're sending JSON, and it should parse this response as if it was JSON. So let's go ahead and start up our server again. Go back to Postman, send the same response. We can see that this was the response that we got the last time we sent it. Now we're going to send this response, and you can see it changed from just a bit of black text to a parsed JSON object. That is because this application, Postman, looked at that content type that we just returned. You can see that we returned content type application JSON, and it's going to understand, okay, this is JSON. I'm going to go ahead and parse it and show it back to the user in a pretty way. If we look at the raw response, there's no difference. We're always returning this raw string. There's nothing changed about the formatting or the coloring or anything like that of what we returned. Is just that a browser or a mobile client, or in this case, Postman, understands that when you're sending JSON, it's a little nicer for the user if I format it in a nice way. So it's doing that. It's doing this color highlighting for us because we told Postman, this is JSON. All right, so that's how you specify JSON. Later on, we'll deal with specifying different types of payloads, but for now, we're building this API that is purely in JSON. Every request that we receive, we're going to respond to with JSON, at least for now. And so at this point, we are done. I'm going to go ahead and kill this server. We can move on to the next lecture.